Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. So in today's video, I'm finally going to be reviewing the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I have been absolutely inundated with requests to review this one. I was quite surprised actually because I didn't realize that the Charlotte Tilbury brand was sort of that popular, that many of you wanted to see sort of more of their products reviewed. I can totally incorporate more of the products here on my channel if you are interested in hearing how they perform and stuff. But this particular foundation, wow, people are going absolutely crazy over it. And so many of you are wanting to know whether or not it actually performs well on my oilier skin. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So just like all of my regular foundation reviews, I'm going to be showing you how it applies on my skin, how it wears, how it looks really nice and close up. I do have also, texture in large pores and all of that stuff. So it'll be good to see if it actually does, supposed to give your skin like this beautiful poreless, smooth finish. So we'll see how that sort of goes. And then I'm going to be doing check-ins throughout the day. I'm going to be wearing it for about 14 hours today, seeing how it holds up, seeing, what it does when my oil production comes through, see if it actually controls oil, and seeing if it still looks pretty, hopefully, on my skin at the end of the day. So if you are interested in learning about the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation, quite a name, the packaging is really pretty too, please stick around. Obviously, if you are new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and let's jump straight into the video. Okay, first up, let's go over a quick rundown of this foundation, why it's so popular, what it's supposed to do, what it's supposed to achieve, all of that. So for starters, the packaging is absolutely beautiful. I'm really it's just, if you had this sitting on your vanity, you would not be mad. It's got this beautiful rose gold cap. It's a glass frosted bottle. Really feels weighty. It definitely feels like a luxurious product. It's not a product that you're going to invest money in, spend money on, and then be like, oh, it looks cheap and tacky. It's really beautiful packaging. So this is what it looks like up close. Really beautiful. Lots of detailing on the cap. And then when you take the cap off, it's a little pump applicator. 30 mils of product you get in it. It's 65 Australian dollars. I have to double check the US price. Okay, 44 US dollars this one retails for. It is available at Sephora. And the little unicorn that it comes in is very pretty as well. And it says on the side, a full coverage foundation with a flawless, matte, long-lasting finish. All right, so apparently this is a new innovative foundation and it's the secret to flawless, poreless looking, confident complexion. Stay all day, weightless formula, full coverage, natural matte finish. Now this one is also, which I do think is really, really cool, infused with a bunch of really powerful skincare. It's supposed to actually, they've done studies I can see here on their website. It's got this groundbreaking Replexium in it. It's a specific ingredient that Charlotte Tilbury does include in her products, and it reduces the appearance of wrinkles by up to 22% after 8 weeks of use, blah, blah, blah. It boosts hydration, it defends the skin against everyday pollutants. So basically it's infused with anti-aging, hydrating, and defensive protective ingredients, which is awesome. Also says, and this is the part that I really like, this makes me all kinds of excited, sweat proof, humidity proof, transfer proof, waterproof. Will she actually stack up? We'll see. Now this one does come in 44 different shades. Obviously I've only got the little swatches. It's so hard to tell accurately, how well it goes, but it does look like there's quite a nice balance of, neutrals, warms and cool undertones, and also a nice balance of light shades, fair shades, medium shades, and deep and dark shades. So that is pretty much everything that we need to know about the product. We're going to go ahead and start applying it now. Now with my foundation reviews, I always prime one side of my face just so we can see how the product performs on its own. I know that there are so many huge makeup artists that are just massive fans of the Charlotte Tilbury brand. I'm really, really excited to test this out, see if it actually lives up to the hype, because it is just I cannot believe how many of you have been requesting this one. It's insane. So I'm just applying Hourglass Mineral Veil, as always, to this side of my face, and then we will start applying the actual foundation. Now, it also says on their website to apply it with a brush, but we're going to try, brush and sponge. I know that there are many of you out there like me who do prefer to apply their foundation with a sponge or with a brush, or some people prefer with your hands. So I'm going to try and give you as much, oh gosh. I've been like popping for ages and it's not coming out. Oh, here we go, here we go. Okay, so formula-wise, oh, it's actually a lot runnier than I thought it would be. I did for some reason think it might have more of like a thicker sort of consistency. And the shade that we are testing today, and I'm hoping this is going to match me, is 7 Warm, which looks like that on my hand. It does look a little, I mean, I am freshly fake tanned, so maybe it'll be okay, but it does look significantly lighter. So I'm going to take it with a sponge first. Ooh, it does look like it'll be awesome coverage. I'm going to start applying it on this side of my face and we'll just see how we go. So obviously this is the side that isn't primed. I have, however, put my skincare on, so she's nice and hydrated. So straight off the bat, it definitely looks really, really smooth on the skin. I feel like it's definitely looking like quite flattering on my skin. I wouldn't say, you know, it's difficult to blend. I wouldn't say that it's not covering up the color. The coverage, I'd probably call it medium buildable for coverage. Like you do, I feel like you could shear this out quite easily if you wanted to go for something just like really medium coverage. But it does look quite perfecting. Whoa. It makes my skin look really perfect. Okay, I like that. So that's it applied on the side with no primer with the sponge. Really, really smooth. I am using Nikkia Joy Cosmetics Perfecting Sponges too. Now, let's get a brush. So picking up a brush and taking a small amount of the product, I'm going to start working it across my forehead. Okay, so you do get, I would say, the same amount of coverage with a brush. I don't necessarily think that using a brush gives you too much more coverage, but at the same time it still looks really, really smooth when applied with a brush, which is good to see. Sometimes I find that foundations, like sometimes they only look good applied with a sponge and it's kind of annoying. Like they can leave like texture on the skin and, you know, I'm sure you know what I mean. Smooth it all over, a little bit down my neck. Color match is actually pretty damn good. I was concerned when I pumped it out on the back of my hand. I was like, ooh, it looks like a little bit like more of like an oat color than a real olive undertone, but it's actually matching up quite well. I like it with a brush. I like it with a brush. I like it with a sponge. If anything, now looking at both areas, I do think that the coverage is or maybe just the tiniest bit less when applying it with a brush. I think with a sponge, you can really get like full on coverage, but it looks absolutely beautiful on my skin. I feel like it's really smoothed the skin out. Oh my gosh, and it's dried down to like a beautiful powdery, like velvet matte kind of finish. Whoa. Not gonna lie, I kind of was not expecting to like it this much. It looks really, really pretty on the skin. It doesn't feel like it is matte, but it still does have a very subtle sheen. And it doesn't feel too drying despite the fact that it has dried down matte, if that makes sense. So going back in with a brush, I'm going to try it now on the primed side. We'll just see if it makes a difference applying it with a brush over the top of a primer. And I also will say it does oxidize down. See when I freshly applied it here and it's much lighter than it is on this side. So that is going to be something to consider when you are going in, you know, maybe you're in Sephora and you're swatching shades to figure out which one you match to. Do a little swatch. I usually recommend swatching sort of like on your chin, on your jawline, maybe just next to your neck here. Leave it on the skin for about 5-10 minutes so you can really see the color develop to see what it really looks like before actually purchasing your shade. It'll give you a much more accurate result. But very easy to build up this coverage with a brush here. It definitely, as it dries down, gets a little bit darker though. Beautiful full coverage though with the brush. I really don't have anything to complain about in terms of application. It does apply really easily. We're going to switch to the sponge now. Now it doesn't have an overpoweringly heavy scent. I don't feel like I'm applying perfume to my skin. When applying it around my eyes, I can't feel any stinging. Sometimes foundations have got alcohol in the formula and as the alcohol evaporates it can sting your eyes. I'm not getting any of that. And the coverage is holy crapoly amazing. I honestly wouldn't even need to apply concealer. The coverage, like it has really covered up absolutely everything on my face. It's just so bizarre too how it's so lightweight, like I really feel like my skin can breathe, yet it looks so perfecting, so full coverage, and because it looks so perfect, it nearly looks like, doesn't look cakey, but it looks like, you know, when you see skin looking that perfect, you would think, oh, that's probably like sticky, you wouldn't want to touch it, but it's actually like this perfect velvet matte finish. It's really, really nice. Oh, feeling a little excited now. So here is my skin close up, all of the gory details. So we'll start with the side here where I have not got a primer on, and this is what we are looking at. We don't have any settling into the lines on my forehead on either side. It's covered up all of that redness. I did have a couple of acne spots sort of around here and under my eyes on the primed side. It's completely covered up all of that color. It's also pretty much completely covered my dark under eye circles. The non-primed side looks beautiful and smooth. It's not settling into my pores. It's not emphasizing texture. If anything, I do agree with the claims about it making the skin look really poreless and smooth. Like my skin looks super, super perfected. I can't really see a huge difference between the primed side over here and the non-primed side. They look pretty much exactly the same. They both feel the same. It's honestly so soft and lightweight and like velvety on the skin. It really, really does feel beautiful. I'm really, really impressed. As far as like a first impression, first application straight out of the gate, it looks gorgeous on the skin, and I would feel very confident leaving the house, even though I'm not going to, but I would feel very confident leaving the house with this on my skin. So what I'm going to do is I'll quickly go and apply the rest of my makeup. I'm not going to be doing anything too intense today, and then I'll come back and show you the skin, you know, all powdered down, bronzer, blush, all of that. We'll see what it looks like then, and then we'll start the check-ins. All right, so I've got the rest of my makeup on, and this is what my skin is looking like. I am so happy with how this foundation is looking. So it powdered down absolutely beautifully. I did add a tiny little bit of concealer just underneath my eyes. I mean, I'm probably just being paranoid, but didn't really need it. Let's be real, the foundation, like the coverage of the foundation was perfect anyway. It looks so beautiful and smooth. It still feels so lightweight on the skin. Like I said, my skin doesn't feel like it's suffocating. It doesn't feel heavy at all. It still is, you know, minimizing pores. My skin does look really blurred and perfect and amazing. I'm really, really excited about how this is looking. Like, fingers crossed. If this stays looking this beautiful, honestly, we're going to have a new contender. And I also just love that it's packed with skincare, so it's really hydrating. It's got that anti-aging stuff in it. It's protecting me from pollutants. It's pretty much doing everything. So, so excited. I'm just going to quickly show you my skin close up before I go. Still not really seeing a difference between the primed side and the non-primed side either. So this is the side where I applied the primer first. It just looks so smooth and perfect. I'm actually really excited to go down the stairs and see what Brandon says. He's always like the best judge of foundations. He always knows. He always knows. So yeah, non-primed side, really, really smooth, really perfected. I just feel like my skin loves this stuff. It just looks so good. No creasing in fine lines, really. It's not settling anywhere. It hasn't sort of like gunked up around my nose. No settling in my smile lines. Honestly, so far it's just looking absolutely perfect. So I am really, really excited to start the wear test and see how it goes. So I'm going to wear it for about 6 hours now, come back and show you, and we'll see what it is looking like then. All right, so I'm back with my first check-in for the day. I had to take my hair out. It was just like super itchy. Does that ever happen to you? Like random moments? Anyway, that is not why we're here. Oh my gosh, you guys. My skin still looks literally just as perfect as it did this morning. We are officially at 7 hours of wear of this one. And oh my goodness. I thought that I had a little bit of caking. I in fact don't. Crisis averted. Okay, so first up, the oil is so minimal. I've got a tiny little bit of shine just on the bridge of my nose, but pretty much nowhere else. And I mean, I did have a little bit of highlighter on the bridge of my nose as well, but pretty much everywhere else is completely matte. There is no separating, there is no caking, there is no creasing or settling into my fine lines or my pores or anything. Like it looks absolutely freaking incredible on my skin. Like I'm sort of looking in the mirror like, is that real? Is that my skin? Is this really my skin? I don't know if I believe it. I do think it's perhaps oxidized a little throughout the day. I feel like maybe it's a slightly, maybe like a shade deeper than it was when I originally applied it. No, but maybe not even. maybe half a shade, maybe quarter of a shade. It's only the tiniest, subtlest little bit. It just looks so beautiful. It still feels really lightweight and breathable on my skin. It feels natural. It's full coverage, like it's super full coverage and perfecting, but at the same time doesn't look like icky full coverage foundation. I'm going to zoom you in so that you can see, but honestly, the way that this is looking on my skin right now, I would give it a solid 10. I would seriously give it a solid 10. It just looks and feels amazing. And I don't even really feel like I'm wearing any foundation, which is really what I'm looking for. Like, I hate foundations that feel really heavy on the skin. So here is a nice little close-up look. This is the side where we don't have any primer. Still no settling into my pores or in, like, you know, it hasn't made that texture any worse. We still don't really have any settling. There might be, is there a tiny baby bit of creasing just here? But it actually hasn't creased necessarily. Like, if you sort of spread that, I hate saying that. If you make the skin taut, it actually hasn't settled there at all. It just looks so perfect. There's no transferring of it. Now, I will say I was wearing my hoodie, which is like this huge oversized, it's basically like a hooded jumper / hooded sweater that's also a blanket. Like, it's amazing. And it has like, it tucks up right underneath my chin, but I still don't have any of the product transferring off the sides of my face. Absolutely, like, it just looks absolutely perfect. Look at it. Look at my face. Look at my chin. Look at my cheeks, forehead. This is the side with no primer. And then switching over to the side where we have applied a primer, and don't mind all my baby hairs just hanging out there. They're fine. Just looks absolutely perfect. So smooth. It looks like my skin has been photoshopped. There's truly no other way to describe it. It just looks absolutely amazing. I'm so impressed, you guys. So freaking impressed. So what I'm going to do is keep wearing it, obviously. I'm not really going to be doing anything different to what I've already done today. And then we'll be back later on tonight. And if it still looks this good on my skin, I'm going to bring up a bottle of wine. We're going to celebrate, because holy crap, right now, this stuff looks amazing. I just did not expect it to be this good. I'm truly shocked. Truly, truly shocked. I should have tested this a long time ago. Silly me. All right, guys, so it's the end of the day now. We are back for our final check-in, and honestly, it is like the heavens have opened up before me. Charlotte Tilbury, you are my hero. Guys, my skin still looks literally exactly the same as it did at our midday check-in. Where's the oil? Where are my oils? I should be way more oily than this. My skin looks absolutely insane. The only thing really that I can see is a little bit of oil right on the tip of my nose here. It's the same spot that I had oil when I checked in earlier, but for the rest of my face, it is looking seriously exactly the same. I'm going to zoom you in. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. All right, so here is the side where we applied no primer. Still no caking, no separating, no settling into my pores, pretty much no oil whatsoever on my face. Like, tell me what you guys think in the comments, but do you agree that this foundation looks absolutely insane on my skin? This is with no primer. What is in this stuff? It's absolutely nuts. Fair to say, usually products that actually hydrate the skin as well as control oil, fair to say that normally they perform much, 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 much better than products that are, you know, only designed to reduce the oil production and control the shine and sort of strip the skin. That's why I made my setting powder the way that I did. By putting moisturizing and hydrating ingredients in it, it actually controls the oil production sort of at the source before it can get out to kind of melt your makeup down, as well as controlling the shine and oil. I feel like this foundation works because it also comes from both angles. And it blurs the skin so incredibly well. Like, I still feel like my skin looks photoshopped. Like, guys, I've had this on my face for 14 hours and my face looks like this. It is absolutely freakishly insane. No caking, no separating, no texture. Like, there's truly, like, it hasn't even transferred off my nose. I've had this jumper on and off so many times today. I've got no, like, normally I'll get like a little bit of a red nose by the end of the day, but it has not come off at all. I was dancing around the kitchen to Lady Gaga's new album, like, earlier doing the dishes, like, working up a real good sweat. Still, she has not moved. So I can pretty much definitely say with confidence that the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation absolutely gets a huge thumbs up from me, a huge thumbs up for oily skin, a huge thumbs up for textured skin. I totally understand now why so many of you were asking me to test this. It is seriously amazing. And I should zoom out. I just realized that I'm still zoomed in and I'm all up in your face. Actually, you know what? Before I zoom out, I'm gonna move in as close as I can and show you my skin as close as I can. It just looks so good. So side with no primer, it's my chin, cheeks, forehead, and then side with primer, forehead, cheeks, chin, a little bit of shine on my nose, but pretty much everywhere else, I've got no shine. It's crazy. So massive, massive thumbs up from me. I love this foundation. I'm so excited that I finally tested it. Apologies to myself for not testing it earlier. Thank you to all of you who did request it, who have been asking for it. I feel like you guys have been asking for this one pretty much since it released. It's definitely been quite a few months now. So thank you for all of the requests. I feel like we've discovered a shining beacon of 2020. This stuff is amazing. I totally recommend it. Really, really excited to continue wearing it. Obviously, if I find that anything changes, I'm going to be testing it with different primers and stuff like that and in different weather conditions. Obviously, if anything changes, I will absolutely update you in future videos. But as a first impressions and after a wear test, this stuff is amazing. Totally recommend if you've been on the fence. Totally recommend you checking it out. I do not think that you will be disappointed. It's awesome. So there you go, guys. That is it for the video today. I hope that you found it interesting to see how this one performed. I certainly did. I'm still just as surprised as I was earlier. I really didn't think that I was going to like this foundation this much. It's kind of been a huge curveball, really. But please, as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know what you think it looks like on my skin. Let me know if you have tried it. Did you have a good experience? Did you have a bad experience? And also let me know what else you want to see tested here on my channel. So yeah, I love you guys heaps. Give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye!